Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Just plug in my phone in here, make sure the battery doesn't die. Hi. Hello, hello, hello. Hope everyone's staying warm. Just gonna adjust my camera here. Sorry about that. It is, well, I guess I'll say hello from super cold Calgary. I don't even know what the temperature is right now. It's like minus a billion. It's very cold. That's all I know. Hello, Christy. All right. So how's everyone doing? Whoops, I lost my page here on my computer. Hello, Diane. All right. Let me get this up so I can see comments. Hi, Melanie. Oh, I know it is crazy cold out there, isn't it? I'm so thankful that, I can pretty much work from, well, I do work from home. So it makes it very, very nice to not have to go out. Minus 28 in Oyen. Okay. Yeah. Hi, Tamara. It is cold all over the place. Definitely. But I mean, here in Calgary, we've had a very beautiful winter. So, it's kind of hard to complain too much about it. At least it's going to be, it's going to warm up next week. I looked at the forecast. So hopefully that stays true to the forecast. Okay, hopefully your comments will still come up. I'm kind of losing my feed on my computer. I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with Facebook and my MacBook. Sometimes it works great and sometimes not. So I will try to just pay more attention on my phone here to so I don't miss any questions you guys might have. So we are going to play today with let me just read the back of the package, with some of these Tim Holtz dies. So he just had a new release, and you can kind of open the vault and they've redone some of his dies from the past and then re-releasing them. So we're going to be playing with this one, which is called Hippity Hop. Vault Hippity Hop. Hi, Jennifer. All right, so we're going to play with this, and we're also going to be playing with some Distress watercolor crayons today. And if you haven't heard already, the latest Distress color is coming out on Saturday, I believe. That's the 13th. Hello, Shannon. So I have no idea what color that's going to be. If anyone's got some guesses, throw it into the comments there. I do know that part of that release is also a watercolor pencil. So I thought, you know what, let's play with some of these Distress watercolor pencils, and that way you can kind of see if maybe you don't want to invest in a whole set, but you want to give them a try. You could try that out with the newest color that's coming out and just buy one pencil. I think it's like, I don't know, $5, $6. It's not very expensive. Oh, thanks, Jennifer. Happy New Year to you as well. Okay. So I'm just looking here. Yeah, I'm gonna pay very close attention to my phone here because it looks like my comments are not coming up. Oh wait, we're back now on my computer. Hello, Kimberly. All right, so let's get started. Now, I do want to say there's 41 dies in this set because you're getting all the alphas and then the numbers as well. Our two bunny rabbits, and then we've got the bow or bow tie, depending on how you want to use it, and that little centerpiece, a butterfly, and then the little string here as well for your banner. So there's a lot of dies in this set, and it is a cute alpha. Let me just show you the actual size of the alphas. Okay, so I don't know, like not quite an inch, maybe an inch, not sure. Okay, that's the size of the alphas. And then we're going to also be using this Sizzix Expand paste, which is super cool. I don't think this is a new item. I think it's been out for quite some time, but we're going to use it on this rabbit and you guys are going to love it. You're going to be blown away by that. But let's start first with creating our background. And I'm going to be using some Vicki Boutin heavyweight cardstock. All right. And then I'm also going to, sorry, I'm just trying to get this up on my computer still so I can see your comments. Okay. Hello, Sharon. So let's get started with this. Now, there's a number of different ways you can use these pencils, but as I was kind of experimenting with this, and let me just give you a little peek, this is kind of what we're going for. Okay, we're going to just create, you know, a little bit of a rainbow background, and then this is an embossing folder, and I'll show you that as well. And we're going to also use some of this foundry wax. And everything I'm using today is in the store. And if you do want the newest distress colors, there is, oh, hi, Carla. You remember? Oh, well, no worries if you hadn't. No worries, but I'm glad you're joining me. So if you do want that newest distress color, you actually can go to the store. And of course, we don't know what the color is yet, but it is, everything's listed. So the oxide pads, the re-inkers, etc. You can go ahead and pre-order that right now. And then that way you're guaranteed to get the colors, whichever one it is. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Carla. Hello, Rhonda. Okay, so we're going to start. Now, I tried this out a couple of different ways. I did kind of scribble my crayons on the paper and then added the water, but I found it was, I don't know, it's probably me, the user, but I was not able to get kind of a nice smooth splash of color. So what I ended up doing was just dipping the crayon in some water. Okay. And then I also dipped my brush in water, and then I'm just picking up the color. I probably should have put a little water on my paper, but hello, Gina. Okay, and then I'm just starting at the top with, this is candied apple. And these distress watercolor pencils I have are from the sets that Tim released, I think a couple of years ago, around that time. Okay, so I'm just doing a nice stripe there. And so see, I can get a nice blend that's not kind of scribbly. Let me just show you. Now, probably if I softened it, so like this is what I was doing yesterday, and then adding the water, and it might be different because this brush already had color on it. But do you see it's kind of, there's a little bit of streaky, scribbly marks on there. So that's what I was trying to avoid. And so that's what doing it this way, softening up your pencil first and then just taking your color right off directly with your wet brush. I'm just going to clean that off because we're going to go to the next color. Okay, so that was candied apple, and that is from set number 3. So there's 3 sets. If you decide that you don't have these pencils and you like what you see, you want to pick them up. There's 3 sets, and they're all in the store. And they all coordinate, hi Jenny, and they all coordinate with the distress line because it's the same color. That's the inspiration. So now I'm going to go in with my crackling campfire. I'll make that a little wider. Now, if you've got a nice big brush, you can just kind of drag that all the way across. There we go. And we can do just a little line here to kind of blend those together. Okay. So I'm just cleaning my brush off in between. Hello, Diana. And now my next color is going to be mustard seed. And this is from set number 1. And I'll just dip that in and then just pick the color up with my brush. And we'll go right straight across there. And get a little more color on here. All right. So that's quite a wide band of color. It's never exactly the same. So if you want to make this more vibrant even, you can dry it and then add another layer after it's dried. Okay, so peeled paint is my next color, and that as well is from set number 1. Kind of not really dipping it in. It doesn't really matter. It'll work either way. Okay. So everyone have plans just to stay indoors for the next few days? It may not be quite as cold for everyone. Not sure where everyone's tuning in from. Okay, I'm just going to deepen that up a little bit. There we go. Okay, and not to worry if you're, if the colors aren't really blending in between each different color. We're going to be embossing this after. So it's very forgiving on whether you get a blend or not. It's not really necessary. All right, so my next color is Faded Jeans. And this one as well is from set number 3. So we'll just brush that through here. All right. Hi, Laura. If I miss saying hello to anyone who just joined in, hello. Took a lot of effort to get out of your warm bed this morning, Jenny. Oh, thanks, Carla. Yeah, it's the same thing as one of these larger mats. I can't even remember when I got it. I have probably had it for well over 10 years. But it's kind of nice when you just want a little piece to work on. I suppose I could just cut down the bigger one too. For some reason, I always struggle with doing things like that. Cutting things down. I do have some of that Tim Holtz, I forget what it's called, his mat that he often shows, or he cuts down as well, but I still haven't cut into it yet. Don't ask me why. I don't know. Okay. So there's our background. Now you can dry this with a heat tool, and then we could go in and add more color to it to make it more vibrant, but I'm going to leave that as is, and I'm just going to set this aside and see if we can get this to kind of dry on its own. If not, we can take the heat tool to it, but we're going to move on and work with our bunny rabbit. So that might give this some time. This might be dry by the time we get back there. So normally I just kind of set my crayons aside if they're still damp and just sort of let them air dry. You can just put them right back in the packaging. I don't know if I showed you the package, but I'm a bit, I don't know. I don't like when things get too messy, so I would prefer that they're all nice and dry before I put them away. So I'm just going to set those off to the side. I'm going to move my water somewhere where I will not spill it. Hopefully I will not knock it over there. Because that is something that if it was going to happen, it's going to happen on a live. All right. And I've been working on a lot of stuff in my craft room the last couple of days, so it would be disaster if I spilled something. Okay, so we'll just set that aside to dry. And now we are going to work with our bunny rabbit. So there's 2 rabbits in this set. We're going to be using this taller guy, and what I've already done is I've glued 2 of them together just to make it stronger. Yeah, you're right, Gina. It is a fantastic day to stay in and read a book. Okay. So maybe I'll just zoom in a little bit here just with this guy, if I can figure out how to do it. I just got a new phone the other day, so this is like the second time I've done a live with it. All right. And considering my computer doesn't like to cooperate with me, then I'm just assuming that it all looks good. Okay, so we're going to work with the Sizzix Expand paste. Okay. And I'm just going to use my finger to kind of start with a light coat. So I'm just rubbing that on our little bunny rabbit all over. I didn't quite line him up completely like straight over top of each other, but the paste is going to hide that, so no one's really going to notice. Okay. So I'll just continue adding the paste. So we're going to cover our rabbit completely. And this is a fun paste. And it's not like super sticky or anything, so you can wipe it up easily with a baby wipe. Okay, so we're going to start with that. So now you want to bring in your heat tool. I'm just going to slide that out of the way. Okay. And I've got a dual heat tool here, so I'm just going to start on the lower setting to kind of dry our paste. Maybe I'll just move this out of the way for now. There we go. So just to kind of get it dry before I hit the higher setting. Okay, so you can kind of see how, there we go. Now we'll go to the higher setting. So you can see how our paste just starts to bubble up. So it's the expand paste, so it's expanding. Oops, I'm dropping my bunny rabbit. I should probably have tweezers. All right. I'll put tweezers on. I'll use my tweezers the second go around. Okay. Okay, so now I can go back in and add another layer. And I'm just going to switch heat tools here real quick because that one sounds like it's dying. Okay, sorry about that. So now I'm going to go in and add another layer. Yeah, it is super cool. So perfect for this bunny rabbit. Whoops, that's a little thick. Should be okay. So I'll just rub that all over. Get another layer on here. So I think this would make excellent snow too, especially if you're working on maybe like the Etc. chipboard, doing a piece, a home decor piece with something like that. That would be very cool. Okay, so this time I'm going to grab my tweezers. And we'll just kind of take a hold of him by, there we go. All right, and let's hit it again with heat. So you can see it just builds up the layers of texture. Just got to readjust this guy here. Sorry, 1 second. Hold him by his ear. Looks like I missed a whole spot of paste here, so let me just quickly fix that. I have to do the top of his ear here. Isn't that funny? Just when I thought I had gotten enough all the way all over it. Clearly not. But I'm just going to go back in here. I'll add a little bit more there. Just going to add a little bit more here. And a little bit on that ear. Okay. Let's see if we can get him finished now. It is, yeah, it's great texture. So we'll get his ear. There we go. All right, so I might have overdid it a little bit here, but that's fine. It makes for an interesting card. Okay. So let's see if we can, okay, yeah. So see, we can kind of push that down a little bit there. There, kind of softens that up. And he's missing a little bit here. I have to fix that. You could probably go in with a Q-tip, I'm thinking, to kind of get that into that smaller space there. All right. There we go. Now he's a bit more even. Perfect. Thanks, Melanie. Yeah, so this stuff is super fun. And sorry, I kind of pushed too hard on that. So you can see the size of this jar, it's enormous. It would take you quite a while to get through this entire jar. Okay. So our little bunny rabbit is ready. He's done. Maybe what we'll do is add his little bow tie. We're going to make this a boy bunny. And so I die cut the bow tie earlier. And then the little middle piece. So I'm just going to glue those together. Just put a little dab of glue here. If you have a little pickup tool or a gem picker, that's perfect for these little pieces of cardstock like this. Okay. Oh, absolutely, yes. That would look very cool. And I'm going to add his bow tie. That's an excellent idea, Jenny. I better put a little more glue. I'm just going to add the tie, his little bow tie right now, just because of all the texture. It's going to need a little bit of drying time. Okay, so let's set him aside. And let me bring back in our little watercolor piece here. So that is dry. Totally dry. And now I'm going to bring in this Delicate Wreath 3D embossing folder by Altenew. I'm just going to quickly run this through my embossing machine. I know what you mean, Jenny. I wish I had them when I was when I was creating this project, because that would have been fun to have that mica spray out. But you know what? I cut a bunch of these rabbits, so I think I'm actually going to play around with that after this live. So thanks for the idea. So I'm just going to step off camera quickly and emboss this watercolor piece. Okay. Bear with me, talk amongst yourselves. All right. Sorry about the noise. Okay, so here's our embossed piece. Now you could leave it just like this if you'd like. We're going to add another layer since we're playing with some mixed media goodies. Hello, Karina. We're going to add a little bit of foundry wax to the high points. Now, hopefully my Band-Aid covered fingers will be able to pick up the wax okay. In the wintertime, my skin kind of starts peeling around on the edges there, and it's not very attractive on camera, so I'm not going to subject anybody to what that looks like. Okay, so I'm giving this a good shake till I can hear the little ball inside roll around. And I'm just going to put a little bit on there, pick up just a wee bit there, and gently rub that over some of the high points here. Now, this foundry wax, it's quite liquidy, so you kind of want to have a light hand, a light touch, unless, you know, you really do want to have a lot of ink on here. A beeswax type of wax would probably be super lovely with this, but I don't have any of that. So I thought, let's give this one a try. And so this one is called a statue. So I would say it's kind of like a bronzy-ish color. Okay. So as it kind of dries on the craft mat, it actually hits kind of a nice consistency. That's a little bit easier to work with. Okay, so we're just giving those the embossed areas a little hint of a shine. I know I always forget to pull mine out too, Carla. So it's kind of nice to kind of go through the old stash and see what's in there. And these come in a 2-pack, so I can't remember which one comes with the statue. But there's also like a gold, a silver, and yeah, I don't have them. Oh, I do have them nearby. I'll show you what they are. I just don't remember which ones come together in a pack. Okay. So I'm just gently, and again with this wax does dry fairly quickly, but I actually don't mind that. Like I said earlier, it seems as it gets a little dried out, it's a bit easier to work with, so it doesn't go everywhere. Hello, Cynthia. And again, if anyone else has joined just recently, hi to everyone. I can't see your comments on my computer because it's not cooperating, but well, Cynthia, we're playing with, we used the distress watercolor pencils to create this background, and then we emboss this with a Altenew embossing folder, the delicate wreath, and now we're just adding a bit of foundry wax, and let me just grab the other ones to show you. So there's Mind, which is kind of like a rose gold. I'd say this one's like a bronzy coppery. Gilded, which is gold, and then Sterling, which is silver. Okay. I think they might come like this, these two and these two together, but don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. Okay. So now we are ready to add our Mr. Bunny Rabbit that we've made all super textury and furry with the Sizzix Expand paste. So I think with this guy, I'm actually going to, we're going to put them kind of right in the middle there. Oh, and actually what you can do as well is hit this with a little bit of a shimmer spray too. That's always nice. I don't know if we have any in the store right now, but you can add a nice little sparkle if you just want to add another interesting element. Oh, they are great. I should mention that these are not, I don't think any of these, this vault release is in the store right now. So if you've seen any of these that you would like, just send Sandy an email. In the subject line, put special order, and then send her an email, sandy@scrapshotz.com. Put special order in the title, and then just tell her which of these vault sets you want. Okay? All right. So I'm going to just trying to think the best way to adhere this guy, because he is quite textury and we are on an embossed background. So let's do some foam. Let's make him dimensional. We'll add a bit of foam tape. It might make the sentiment a bit tricky, but we'll make it work. All right. Oh, it seems like everybody's coming home early to my house today. My daughter's home early. I hear the garage door, so it sounds like my son is home early too. He's usually not back till after 5. That is, unless my husband snuck out and I didn't hear him leave. Because he works from home, so he's usually around. All right. So I'm using the Altenew Instant Dimension foam tape, it's my favorite foam tape. You can see how easy it is to cut, and the backing paper peels off so easily. Because if you've ever had that experience of having a hard time getting the paper off, it is so frustrating. Oh, no, that's just my husband going out. I see him driving down the road. Must have a meeting. I didn't quite cut that small enough. There we go. So I'm not going to worry about his feet, because they'll be fine. Kind of hovering. All right. So we'll peel off this backing paper, or the release paper. There we go. Hello, Irene. It's nice to see so many faces here. I know I'm not really seeing you, but hello, Patricia. But you all know what I mean. All right. I know the rabbit is adorable. Okay, now this is probably overkill, but I'm going to add a little bit of liquid adhesive as well, just because it's an embossed background. So I just want to make sure this guy is not going anywhere. Okay. So I'm just going to quickly grab my stamp block. Sorry, I forgot that. Just to add a little bit of pressure. You can see with that, expand paste, I forgot what it's called. Oh, you just got home. How's the weather where you are, Irene? Hopefully not as cold as it is out here. Okay, so I'm just going to give that a minute to make sure that kind of sets up, and then I'll show you what we're going to do with the sentiment. So I die cut all these letters earlier, and I actually die cut them twice, so they're just to add a little bit more strength, I guess, to them. And I can see I missed a bit of glue here on my Y. And then I die cut this banner piece as well from the die set, and then I've just added a little touch of glue. Here, we'll do it again on this one to the top of each of these letters and then strung them on the banner. Okay. And so initially I kind of wanted to use the 2 rabbits so that, you know, one could hold a banner that said happy and the other could hold this banner that says birthday, but I wanted to keep it to an A2 card and they didn't both fit on an A2 card. So I think it would look great on like a 5x7 card, 6x6. You could get both these bunny rabbits on there, but we're just going to use the one on here. Okay. And so I'm just going to place birthday right here. So I'm going to add a little dab of glue here and it'll kind of just sit on top of his paws or arms. You could kind of try to wiggle it around and tuck it underneath his paws here, but that might be a little tricky. I'm just going to do it at an angle here. Okay. So I'm going to add literally a few little dabs of glue. This is where if you've got the precision press for your glue with with a really nice little fine tip. This is the Art Glitter glue and the fine tip. It's perfect for adhering. Adding just little bits of glue like this. Okay. So I may have to add more glue. I'm just going to tuck that on there. So this would definitely be a birthday card you're going to hand deliver to somebody, because our sentiment is kind of, because it's a banner, it's kind of just hanging there. So you wouldn't want it to get wrecked coming out of with someone pulling it out of the mail. Okay, so I might add a little bit more glue to that, but you kind of get the idea. Okay, and now what I've done, oh, you got what? Yes, awesome, Cynthia. Yeah, they are fantastic. And so again, I didn't really want to do another banner with happy. It was just feeling like it was kind of odd on trying to get it to work on this card. So what I did is I just went through my stash, and I have some of these Ideology Big Chat stickers. So I just found a happy in there. Oh, you haven't used it yet, Irene? You will love it, Irene. And so I've just put that on a piece of black cardstock and trimmed it. And now I can just, I think what I'm going to do is put it on foam tape and then just put it right over the edge of the banner up here. Okay. And I'm going to show you what I have. I just got an idea of what we're going to do to deal with our little edge here that's kind of floating up in the middle of nowhere. I know it doesn't matter because it's a card, right? And, you know, you don't really see bunnies wearing bow ties in real life either, so it would totally make sense for a banner to kind of be floating in the middle of the air. Thanks, Carla. But somehow those things still kind of bug me. So I'm going to place my happy right here. So I just put a little foam tape right over the top. And now this die set also comes with a little butterfly die. So I'm just going to add a little piece of foam tape to here too. Or I think I'm going to make the butterfly craft out of craft colored paper. I'm not feeling the black. So I'm just going to quickly die cut that butterfly. He's in here. I made sure to put all the little bits back in the package right away because usually I lose a die. And where's my craft paper? Oh, there it is. Okay, and actually these smaller dies are great to be able to dive into your stash and use up your scraps. Okay, I'm just gonna step behind me one moment and die cut this butterfly. Okay. Sorry, I'm behind you here. Oh, the butterfly is not cooperating. Come. He did not want to leave the cutting mat. Okay, so now I'm just going to add that butterfly right here. Again, with a little piece of foam tape. Okay, and you could use, you know, colored cardstock for this butterfly too. Something sparkly. We could put a bit of shimmer on him, or you could coat him in the foundry wax. That might be kind of cool. I might actually try that, you know, because I can just glue it right over top of this one. We'll see. Now I have two things to try after this live is over. Okay, so I'm just going to add my little butterfly there. Okay, and now there is my completed card. So, super fun. I love this paste. It's super fun to use. So I'm going to try Jenny's idea of spraying with mica spray as well after this. And so I'll post that on the Facebook page, as well as this completed card. I am going to just put it onto a craft cardstock base, but that can happen after. Thanks, Melanie. Thanks, Cynthia. Yeah, so there's some ideas for you. Check the store out on Saturday. I'm not sure what time Tim Holtz is going live, but we'll have that new distress color once it's revealed. That'll be, you can pre-order right now, but we'll have the actual graphics with the actual color once he reveals that. So yeah, it is a really neat paste, Jenny. Yeah, I totally agree. Very fun. But, oh, you're welcome, Carla. So yeah, thanks everyone. And so if you've got, you know, these distressed watercolor pencils, it looks like the next couple of days, if you're where it's really cold, it's going to be great to bust those things out and give them a try. So thanks everyone for spending some of your afternoon with me. Have a fantastic rest of the day. And wherever you are, stay warm. And Carla will be back next week. And I'm looking forward. In fact, I'm hopefully she'll have that new distress color. So I'm looking forward to seeing what she does with that, if that's in already by then. So you're welcome, Jennifer. You're welcome, Jenny. Have a great day, everybody. Take care. You're welcome, Melanie. Bye.